You're watching 5 News. Welcome back. We go to our hospitals when we're at our most vulnerable. But today it's been revealed a quarter of NHS trusts in England are failing to do enough to keep hospitals clean and prevent infection. Figures released today by the hospital's watchdog show 111 of the 394 trusts failed to meet at least one of 3 basic hygiene standards. Those are for things like hand washing, ward cleanliness and isolating sick patients. But overall, there has been improvement in the past 12 months. A third of trusts were given a better rating than last year. Well, the trust deemed to have the worst overall record in the country was the Royal Cornwall. Its chief executive acknowledged its standards were not acceptable, but insisted they were improving.
In a particularly important area like MRSA infection, in the first 5 months of this year compared to last year, we cut that level of infection by a third. It's a massive improvement. Clearly, any one patient infected is one too many. But we've already seen a 33% improvement reduction in MRSA infections in this financial year. I think that's a really good start.
Well, the Royal Cornwall Hospital is one of the places where Joe Way was treated. The 4-year-old was born with a rare genetic disorder called Angelman syndrome, which causes severe learning difficulties. Last June, he contracted a skin disease which nearly killed him. While being treated at hospital for that, he's had to fight off 11 superbug infections, including MRSA and C. difficile. Well, Joe's dad, Matt, is outside the Royal Cornwall this morning. Matt, thank you for making the time to talk to us today. A terrible time you've all been through. How is Joe at the moment?
Hello, Joe's doing very well. He's actually turned a bit of a corner, and for the last 2 months he's been at home, and actually for the first time celebrated his birthday at home, which he hasn't done for 2 years. So for him, he's turned a real corner, which is great.
That's good news. Now, he got the hospital infections while being treated for the skin reaction called Stevens-Johnson syndrome. Just how ill did he get?
He was very ill. Stevens-Johnson syndrome is a very nasty thing to have. Your whole body opens up with sores, and he also had that internally as well. This left him needing an awful lot of care and a lot of round-the-clock treatment, and the staff were fantastic here with how they dealt with him in what was very difficult circumstances and very distressing for us as parents.
Because you didn't expect him to survive at one point, did you?
That's right. At one point, Joe went septic, and he had complete organ failure, which happened within hours. We were told he wouldn't make the journey up to Bristol, and the staff worked incredibly hard to ensure that he had the best care that he could have. And when he was transferred up, we went in a response car and didn't expect to see him at the other end at Bristol, but he managed to fight through that and made some recovery at Bristol.
You say that the staff have been wonderful, and you accept that Joe was at a high risk because of the infection that he had, because of the skin problem he had. What do you think, though, is the biggest challenge for hospitals in actually overcoming the problems they have with the infections like MRSA?
Well, for Cornwall, we have a unique situation, which is we're a very rural area with a huge intake of holiday makers during the season, and I don't think the Trust has ever had the money it's needed to actually run a hospital under those conditions. I think there has definitely been some bad monetary decisions over the last 10 years, and they've got a real job on their hands to put that right. And I think unless the government and Gordon Brown take some of that deficit, we're not going to move things forward. But one thing that everyone could do, and I would urge all people that go to hospitals, whether they're visiting or contractors or working, is to wash your hands and use the gels that are on the walls and supplied. This could make a massive impact, and so many times we see people walk in or out of hospitals who are visiting who don't do that, and we all have a responsibility to do that. It doesn't just lie with the staff.
All right, Matt, that's a really important point. Thank you for making it this morning. Matt Waite, thanks for your time. Good luck with Joe, of course, as well. If you want to know more about Joe's story, then go to our website where you'll find out more, 5.tv/news.